So the way most of the pages work in SalesNexus are we have these panels, and you can kind of drag them around and organize things however you want. So you'll see that in contacts, in companies, in tasks, in goals, opportunities, all of that. But where I feel it's most important is on the contacts, because that's where you're focusing in on a given customer, right? So over here on the right, you have a couple of different main controls to play around with all this. You got boards, and then you have panels. So a board is just a layout of panels, right? So if I'm the sole proprietor, I'm running my own business, it's just me, but maybe I want to have different views. One's the view that I have when I'm kind of in sales mode, right? And another view for marketing, and another view for customer service. Well, you can just create different boards for that. And so then within a board, you'll turn on the panels that you want. And you have all these system panels that you can turn on. So AI strategic tips, that's where Nexie's going to, sort of look at your contacts and start and all the notes and tasks going on with those contacts and start recommending things, right? So you have a lot of different options that you can play around with. And then over here on the right, you got custom panels. So you can create your own custom panels where you're laying out just the things that you want to see. And that's what you're seeing here. These group panels, these are custom panels that I created. And then I combined them into a group panel so that I have these two different tabs. So I got solar install prospects and I got solar customer management. So the idea being, when I have a new prospect, here's the stuff I need to be filling out and updating. And then once they become a customer and I'm just taking care of them as a customer, it's a slightly different set of things that I need to keep track of, right? Same thing with maybe accounting, right? I might have certain things when I'm, first charging the customer, and then a different set of things when it comes to, charging for their upgrade or whatever. Either way, you can turn all these panels on and off just by clicking on them, or you can go in and edit them. So let me go to this wound care that I created for a customer the other day. And here you can select the fields that you want to appear over there. So maybe you want the credit card field. So I just drag that over there. Maybe you want their budget field. Okay, let's do a quick overview on setting up a custom panel. Let's just do one from scratch. I would go to panels and click on custom panels here, and then click plus and give it a name. And then here, I just select any fields that I want to have show up in there. Doesn't matter what kind of fields they are or who created them or anything. If they're in your account, then you can drag them over. And maybe you're doing this and you think to yourself, oh, you know what? I also need a field for, whatever. But you haven't created it yet. That's okay, because you can just hit the little plus. And now you give it a name. And you can choose, do you want it to be currency field or a date field or time, checkbox, percentage, phone field, etc. Or if you leave it character, then you can also turn on drop down. And then here you would create the little drop down items. Big size, medium size, and small size. And then just save that. So now we've created a new field in the database, and then we can just find it over here and drag it over. And one other thing about this, you notice these two columns here. This is defining if the field can be seen. And then secondly, this defines if it can be edited by the user. So if you don't check here, you can only see the field, you can't edit it, which in some cases may be appropriate. You want them to see something about their account, like their account number, but you don't want your sales rep to be able to change the account number. So now I save that, and there's our layout. And it's just going to go to the top left like that, and then you can kind of resize it so that you can fit it in with all your other panels. And you can drag it way over here to the right and kind of create a whole nother column of them. You know, whatever you want to do. And then last little point there, I'm going to open up that wound care one that I created in a previous demo. Now, if you want to create more of a combo like this, where you have the tabs within one panel, you would open up two panels like I have here and just drag them on top of each other. And now we got them as tabs within one. So that's just a better, you know, a way to take better care of all the space, I guess, right? And then you can drag it, you know, wherever you want, you know, and just lay things out, right? So that's how you create those custom panels. Now, when you get your layout of all the different panels just the way you want it, you want to make sure and go up here to boards and save that board. That's your overall layout of all the panels.